let's move on now, but not any far from our initial topic on corruption. The National Bureau of Statistics survey reveals that the Nigerian police is by far the most corrupt public institution and also reflect the frequency of bribery. There was more among police officers, which they say stands at 46.4%. The police condemned the report, denied being on top of the corruption index, insisting the report is entirely misleading. The police had barely recovered from the blow that report dealt on the image it's been trying to manage. Another allegation of corruption hit them, this time from a senator, a man who retired as a deputy superintendent of the police force. So he told us. Senator Isah Misau, representing Bauchi Central Senatorial District of Nigeria, accused police chiefs and officials of police service commission of racketeering, especially when it concerns special promotion. The senator claims there is a huge maladministration within the police force, most of it bordering on bribery and fraud. The police headquarters in turn accused the senator of being on a vendetta mission, having been unceremoniously booted out of the police force for unscrupulous activities. So it's been accusations and counter-accusations. To get clarifications or, if necessary, a closure on this matter, we have Senator Isah Misau in the studio here and the Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police, Mr. Moshood Jimon. Many thanks, gentlemen, for coming on the program.
Thank you very
much. Of course, Senator Misau being the one in the mufti and Mr. Moshood in the uniform. Many thanks for coming on the program. Let's begin with you, Senator Misau, because you are the one who alleged, and you did say specifically that 10 billion naira goes into the pocket of the Inspector General of Police monthly as proceeds of fraud and bribery. What do you mean?
I think I made a press statement. In the press statement, I said there are policemen attached to banks, attached to hotels, attached to private individuals, oil companies, oil servicing companies, and multinational corporations. And more than 50,000 policemen are rendering services to these organizations I mentioned. And somebody gave me that information that more than every month, these oil companies are paying money to the police, which he said is close to 10 billion or more than 10 billion. And in the press statement, I do not say that the 10 billion is directly, IG is collecting the money directly, but these are the monies paid by all these multinational corporations to police for the services that they are rendering.
Are they official money or unofficial monies being paid?
The money, when they are coming, they come out officially. But when they are getting to the policemen, they don't come officially, because normally they either transfer, they give raw cash, or they transfer the money. But when you go to accounts of all these banks, all these oil companies, you will see where money is removed monthly for security.
I mean, you are a man who left the Nigerian police, and I'm very sure that you are aware of some of these allegations you are making tonight on the program. Millions and millions of Nigerians are watching from all over the world, and for someone who has left the Nigerian police force, the information you have, can you back it up with any concrete evidence?
That's what I'm telling you. From 1998 to 2000. I worked in Shell for 1 year, and I was working in Shell Petroleum Development Company under external relations. And we know the money that we are giving to police even before I joined the police. I joined the police in 2010. And before my leaving the police, I worked as a mobile officer, a unit commander under diplomatic protection. And even in my unit, in the force headquarters, we normally go to Escravos for 3 months duties. And monies every month have been paid by the banks, by the oil companies. So I know of this one. But
so the monies are being budgeted by all of these organizations.
By all these organizations, any bank is paying the police for the services.
Does the police force pay any of their men on the ground out of this money from your information that you have?
Yes.
They paid. You collected some money as a serving officer then when you were...
As a serving officer, money will come, but the money will come sometimes raw cash.
Aside your salary?
Aside the salary.
And your allowances?
And allowances.
So you collected monies at that time as a police officer?
At that time, the money will come. They will tell you that that money is for the services you rendered. And that money is not going to federal government's account.
But when it comes to you, what do they title those kind of funds that come to you? For example, when you received such kind of funds when you were a serving police officer, what would they tag that money, for example?
They would say allowances.
They pay into your account, official account?
Not into account.
They pay you cash?
Pay cash. Most time, pay cash.
Oh, no, let's now come down home now. Let's come home with those information that you have. Now, that trend, you think or you know has continued up to this moment?
Somebody, even the reason why that allegation was made, somebody came. He said, government is trying to diversify the economy into getting revenue. He said, why not the police should propose like kind of bill so that all this money that is coming unofficially, it would now become official so that the money will be entering government's account so that it will be appropriated properly. So that instead of raw cash coming to enter people's money, so that this bill will accelerate, so that the person brought it as a good citizen, so that government will be getting money as a revenue.
Okay, you have some of these allegations. I'm still coming to some of the things you treated in your statement. Let me allow the police public relations officer to weigh in on this. Does the police get any form of money aside from any private organization to secure their property or their premises or their institutions or their interests?
Thank you so much. I want to start, first of all, by the police is not corrupt from your report earlier said, and we came out and debunked that statement from UNOCD, the survey, that the survey wasn't empirical because it's not based on fact, it's based on hearsay, essentially. And equally, to come to the discussion of today, that we have been vindicated because we made it pronounced in our statement that the force is constrained to respond to the gentleman by my right-hand side here today because the Nigerian police force still see him as one of our officers because his name is
a retired officer.
No, he's not. He's not retired.
Are you not retired, Sen Isah Misau?
I'm retired.
He's not retired. He's not retired. We have been vindicated. I think I have the grant
for retirement.
Just a moment.
I have the grant. I think I have the grant to talk.
No, just let me, so that we clarify.
No. He has spoken.
There is an issue that you raised that will just, Senator Misau, are you retired?
I retired December 2010.
You have your evidence of retirement?
I have it here.
Were you properly retired by the police?
And let me even...
Just a moment, were you properly retired by the police?
Retired.
If you bring up the document, let me allow him to continue. He said he's properly retired.
He didn't. He deserted the Nigerian police force on the 24th of September 2010 when he was deployed to Niger State Police Command. And he deserted and went and contested for election in 2011 in Bauchi State. Senatorial election, the records are there. And subsequently came up with a retirement letter dated 2014. And the police, why the police were looking for him was when he went and contested for the election, and he lost that election. Then went back to contest an election in 2015. Not to move away from what we are discussing.
We will still come back to that matter.
So Nigerian police force is not corrupt. I want to say that we've been vindicated from his remarks now that he didn't say the IGP is pocketing 10 billion naira. That I said 10 billion naira, about 10 billion naira is being paid to the Nigerian police by who? Like in law, they say whosoever alleges proves the allegation. The gentleman here have not been able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the police is collecting the money. And that is why when he raised the first allegation of money for promotion, because he was interviewed, and during the interview, the journalist asked him whether there are people who said they are paying 500,000, saying it's not 500,000, 2.5 million they are paying. Who paid this 2.5 million? He has not told the police. Because of the stigma, or probably the impact the allegation will have on the integrity of the Nigerian police force, the Inspector General of Police promptly set up an investigation team Special Investigation Panel, who wrote him through the Senate President for the first time to meet with the committee. If you allow me to explain, I would love that.
Go ahead.
Then subsequently, it didn't surface. Another letter was written to him to provide evidences, documents, to back his allegation that money had been collected by police, and money had been collected by Police Service Commission for promotion, which he refused to do so. But we were just surprised that he granted another press interview calling on the Department of State Service to investigate the police and the Police Service Commission for collecting money from for promotion. Like he has said all what he has said. There's no any tangible evidence in what he has said to show that money are being remitted to the police by our company, by private citizens, by others, because police is not an agency of government that generates revenue. So the issue of IGR, internally generated revenue, being diverted to the police is null and void, is zero. So we don't want him to use his, whatever is occupying now, to cast aspersion on the integrity of the Nigerian police force. We take exception to that. On the person of the Inspector General of Police, because the Inspector General of Police, when he came on board, he has introduced a lot of internal mechanisms to check corruption within the system, and it's working for us. And the issue of promotion is essentially the issue within the force, and there are equally enough mechanisms to check excesses. So for him to now begin to say that he retired from the police, he didn't retire. And today he had been declared a deserter by the Nigerian police force, and which necessary action will be taken in that regard.
All right, I want us to take it because what we try so much to do is to break down these issues for the millions of people who are watching, to be able to get a sense of what we're talking about, so we don't lump up the issues all together. So we take it one after the other. I would like us to put a closure to a particular matter. Then we'll now move to another one. Now, let's go to when you retired. When you said you retired from the police force. First and foremost, when did you retire?
December 2010. And I want to enlighten the force people around that I'm surprised. You should know that the issue of appointment, issue of promotion, issue of discipline, issue of disengagement from the police all lies under the Police Service and Service Commission. For him to say he doesn't know whether I retired or him, because this is a letter from Police Service Commission. And the regulation which says if you want to go on retirement, what you need to do is to give 3 months notice, or you pay 1 month in lieu of notice. And this is what I paid in December, 124,387. This is an original letter.
Okay, Senator Misau, you said you retired on the 10th, in 2010.
Yes.
You contested in 2011.
April.
Your retirement letter
read it.
5th of March 2014, and it read retirement from the Nigerian police force. Please, your letter of 4th December 2010 refers, I wish to inform you that the Commission has approved your retirement from the service of the Nigerian police force with effect from 1st December 2010 and 10 years of meritorious service. Your dedication and all of those, and signed by the Permanent Secretary. Now, this is dated 2014. So you did not receive this before you contested?
You don't have to. Under the public service rules, you don't have to receive this. What you need to do is to write application for voluntary retirement, and you submit it to the police, and they will acknowledge it. When they acknowledge the receipt of your application,
they acknowledge your receipt?
They have.
They acknowledge that you have written them, but they have not acknowledged that you are retired. And, did they acknowledge that you retired?
No, what you do is to write application to the police. You want to go on. After paying this 1 month in lieu of notice, you write application, and which the IG's office would acknowledge. Right. Well, and even when I was telling you that, when I disengaged from service, the IG, the present IG, was a deputy commissioner of police.
Just a moment, Senator Misau, because we need to go on this break.
I need to.
Just a moment. Up next on the program is being a back and forth of you're wrong and I'm right, but who is actually telling the truth? We dig deeper when we return, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Let's continue with the allegations of corruption brought by Senator Isah Misau of Bauchi State. He's the chairman of Senate Committee on Navy and the Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force, Mr. Moshood Jimoh, has also been talking to us on this program. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And let me allow allow you to quickly respond to what he said before we come into the issue. These are just preliminary issues. We come to the issues of the corruption that you raised, the allegations of corruption. But you did say, because the little that I know about public service is when you apply, of course, when you send a letter, there is an acknowledgement that you sent a letter. But officially, your retirement must be acknowledged before you can proceed. Even when you are going on leave, your leave must be acknowledged before you go on. What, did that acknowledgement come from the PRC before you proceed? That is the police commission.
What you know, when you are going for retirement as a police officer, voluntary retirement, what you are supposed to do is just to apply the first thing, because the law says if you want to go without paying anything, you write to give 3 months notice. And if you want to go immediately, what you need to do by law is to pay 1 month in lieu of notice. And immediately you make your application, that stamp, if they stamp it as they receive it, you have already disengaged because you have already paid 1 month in lieu of notice. That is standard everywhere. And I'm surprised the person, the first PPRO is saying, I'm still a police officer. Just,
are you aware that you have been declared a deserter of the Nigerian Police Force?
I'm just reading it on social media, and I'm surprised. If police, just 2 weeks ago, the IG was invited by the Senate to come and explain the reason why there is so much kidnapping between Abuja and Kaduna. The IG got scared that he doesn't want to come to the Senate. He called me through Professor Usuji. The IG spoke to me that I should go and tell the Senate President he doesn't want to go, that they will humiliate him. I talked to the Senate President. After talking to the Senate President said I should meet the Senate leader. I met the Senate leader who is to chair that meeting. And the Senate leader said, no. That what we need is just explanation. Convince the IG to come. That the IG said I should tell them that he doesn't want to come. And I said, oh, this, and then the Senate leader said, no, he must come.
Did he appear?
He came, and when the IG came, I was even in the meeting with the IG, and I've been writing letters to IG, even on.
But does that take away the fact that they've declared you a deserter?
What I'm saying is, I'm trying to prove a point. If I'm a deserter, when did they know that I've not retired properly?
Let me ask you. Excuse me. Just a moment, because you have. Just a moment.
You allow me to talk.
Mr. Jimoh. When did you realize that he's a deserter?
Thank you so much. He deserted the force since 2010. And like I said earlier on, 2010 to 2011 is like a year. He deserted the force. He has a pending disciplinary matter, which he didn't attend to. Because even if you are going to go on normal retirement, if you have pending disciplinary matter, the police will not allow you to go.
I understand there are 2 disciplinary matters that is to face.
It's more than 2. First of all, before I come to the letter he has paraded, let me show you some certain things. Because it is important for people to know. This is a signal for everybody to know. When he was deployed to go on course, JCC in Police Staff College, he refused to proceed on course. He was queried for that. Then subsequently, he was transferred. He was transferred to Niger State Police Command in 2000, and everybody is therefore on the 24th September 2010. He refused to proceed. That became under query. So he was queried, and he has pending disciplinary matter. So in this process, after this period, he went in.
So where has the police taken this step against him at that time?
Yeah, there's no any time limit in dealing with desertion.
Now, talking about when he did not show up for the training.
He didn't show up for the course, then he was being looked for as a deserter. And it is in that process he went and contested for an election. Because the letter is, this is a copy of the letter, which read 2014. And he contested for an election in 2011, general election. His name was even the first among the consensus in Bauchi State under the ACN. Then police were still looking for him. Suddenly to emerge with letter, with this letter. And for everybody that's looking at this letter is dated 5th of March 2014. And there's a forwarding instruction to the Inspector General of Police Service Commission, because this letter is suspected to be forged. It's suspiciously forged. And police have started investigation.
That's a criminal offense.
It's a criminal letter to forge. Let me finish, gentlemen. Let me finish. While you are talking.
This is what I have.
That is what
I'm saying.
Mr. Jima,
you asked me.
Okay. No. Please,
Senator, if you allow him to land.
If his claim is not the same letter he's having, what do you have below here? He acknowledged this letter. Original copy collected by me, DCP Ama Isa.
That's not me.
No. And that's what you acknowledge. This is what you acknowledge.
This document.
This is another impersonation.
This is my
which we are
document.
doing. So the document is parading, is suspected.
Right. And how can you?
No, to be forged.
Senator, if you allow him, Senator, just a moment, allow him, please. Yeah, go ahead, please.
This is where he acknowledged fraudulently. This is the letter we could trace in the first quarter. Now,
let me even see what.
No, you didn't give me your own. I will give it to Okimba.
Let me see why you said I acknowledge.
Let me please, Senator, if you allow him.
So he acknowledged this letter, but the point we are trying to make is that you cannot desert the force in 2010, went and contested for election in 2011, and come back in 2014 with a retirement letter, which is that backdating your retirement to 2010.
About 3 or 4 years later.
4 years, clearly 4 years later. If you have pending disciplinary matter, you must go and answer to pending disciplinary matter. That's why we issued a statement calling on the Senate Ethics and Privilege Committee to prevail on him to dress up in police uniform, because it's a deserted deputy superintendent of police, and come and attend to the pending disciplinary matter.
Okay, when someone deserts the force, for example, because I'm a bit worried when you said the police was looking for him, but the police force know that he contested the election, and he's in the Senate.
Let me let you know now, and you need to find out from him. From the police records, what you have as what we know him for is DSP force number, AP number 57300, DSP Mohammed Isa Ama. And if you look at the name he filled before coming here, it's different from this name.
What is the name?
So it takes time to be able to...
I'm even surprised.
Senator, if you allow him, please, I will allow you to.
Yes, the name we know him with is DSP Mohammed Isa Ama. But the name you have as a senator is different, and that's what prompted the investigation.
Okay.
The IG, I want to make one statement before we go further. The IG on issue of Kaduna Abuja Road, the IG never called him on this matter. The IG have never spoken with him.
Were you there when he...
Yes, I was there at the Senate.
When the call was made to...
No. That's a wrong accusation. Why would the Inspector General of Police...
Okay, let me even give you...
No, Senator, hold on, because I'm coming to you now.
The Senate Committee on Police Affairs deal with issues that have to do with the Senate.
Okay.
And the police, the relationship between the police and the Senate, they deal with the matter.
Let's allow Senator to... Let's allow him to...
Get my point. He is not involved at all whatsoever. So my IG did not call him.
Okay.
And from the start, his allegation against the IG is that IG is pocketing 10 billion naira on monthly basis. But when he come here, he said the police. Okay. And I want him to tell us, when he was posted as ADC to the Minister of FCT, that's Aliyu Modibo for the first time, how much bribe did he pay to be posted? When he was posted, when he continued the sojourn to be ADC to the Senator Adamu Alero, who is in the Senate now, how much bribe did he pay?
Okay.
And when he was equally posted, when he continued with Senator Bala Muhammad as ADC, how much bribe did he pay? So it's quite unfortunate that people will make a wide allegation, and when it's down to prove it, they couldn't prove it. So as it stands, this letter, in addition to this letter was fraudulently obtained within 6 working days. And we have investigated so far and discovered that even the minute of the chairman of Police Service Commission on the eventual letter where the smuggle...
Because I want us to round up this so that we can go into the issue of corruption.
The directive from the chairman of Police Service Commission came on the 6th of March 2014.
Okay.
And this letter, so that means you must have gotten the letter before even directing for his...
Senator, straight on, tell us, as it stands now, the letter you said you have in your hand is said to be a forged document.
I think if you are talking of this letter is from Police Service Commission, an IG or the police authority, it is only the Police Service Commission that will say this letter is forged. You cannot tell me that somebody's document is forged.
Senator, twice.
Apart from that
Senator,
yes.
you did not. Senator, just a moment.
Yes.
Sorry, just a moment. Is it also true that you did not show up for training that you were called up on 2 occasions that I've heard?
Okay, let me explain to you the issue of corruption that you're talking about.
No, Senator, Senator, just a moment. Because we don't have the time, and I want us to answer. I want to answer the issues. Did you show up for the training, Senator?
Let me give you explanation to that. I was seconded by the police to serve as ADC to Minister of FCT, Modibo. During Alero's time, the police demanded from me land because I don't have capacity.
You said the police?
The police.
I mean, when you said the police, the institution.
Okay. What I'm telling you that Mike Okiro and the late CP John Haruna, who retired DIG, they brought a list of requests for land, about 40 names.
Do you have you have land, personal land?
What I'm saying is, Senator Alero is still alive. When he came, I was the one that did the follow-up for them to be given the land as a request from police. After that one, they requested for more additional land from me. I said, I don't have capacity to give you land. After that one, and everybody, everybody knows, if you are attached to VIP, if you are going for any cause, you have to be informed as an officer. I was not informed to go for any cause. Senator Alero, who was the FCT minister, was not informed. It was just put through malice. I didn't even know.
The second, also, there's another training which you didn't show up for.
That is the training I'm talking about.
No, there was an initial training that you didn't show up.
No, it is only one training, and it was during Alero's time. If I had problem with the police, why did I continue with even...
so you are aware that you have problem with the police? You have disciplinary processes and cases in your hand?
What I'm saying is, I don't have any problem with them because I continue. Because if I have problem, because after Alero, I was still there as ADC to Senator Bola Mohammed. If I had problem with the police, I would have stopped.
All right, gentlemen, Senator, our major focus is on the issues of corruption. That's the reason why we're here, and I don't want us to derail. Mr. Moshood, are you aware that certain private organizations, like he has alleged, budget money for protection from the police?
Thank you so much. The issue is this. Police need funding. And a lot of other agencies have been coming about to fund the police, which is known to everybody.
Apart from the federal government's funding?
Yes, apart from federal.
So the police is aware?
No. We are not aware of that because we don't take money from any private. The police is not generating revenue for government or for ourselves. What we do is to give security to everybody that deserves security and all Nigerians, because under the Constitution that we have the responsibility to protect life and property of everybody, whether you are company, whether you are private, whether. So I don't know where the gentleman gets the instinct that while he's in the police force, he collect money from oil company, he collect money from this. That's to show.
But are you also aware, Mr. Moshood? Are you also aware
personal corruption in the gentleman? Because you are taking your salary as a police officer.
Mr. Moshood, are you also aware that if some part of the allegation is that some of your men collect monies? Are you aware?
Where's the proof?
No, are you aware? No, I'm asking a question.
I'm not aware. It's not only aware, it's not the practice.
Okay.
The practice is that you are paid your salary and you rely on the salary you are being paid.
All right. I'll allow my guests in the studio to continue with the conversation. But up next in the program, is this a question of if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones, or the biblical narrative, or he who's without sin cast the first stone? We'll seek the answer after this break. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We are coasting home right now on the conversation around allegations of corruption within the Nigerian police force. As a former police officer, so Senator Isah Misau told us, but the police says that is a deserter. This conversation around whether or not the police huge amounts of money being paid, running to about 10 billion monthly as illegal IGR. well, let's get back to the conversation now. Let me come to you, Senator. You made some other allegations about the armored personnel carrier, that the allegation that more than 50,000 policemen are attached to oil companies. You also did say that the version of funds provided under the Appropriation Act for the acquisition of armored personnel vehicles. Can you, in just about a minute, just drive home the point on some of these allegations you've made?
I think this is not an allegation, because there was a problem in the House of Reps, which under their order paper, that the IG tampered with the Appropriation Act 2016 by diverting money meant to purchase armored personnel carriers to purchasing of vehicles. And everybody knows that Appropriation Act is a law, and tampering with that Appropriation Act is a criminal offense. And it is there even on the order paper of the House of Reps, which they are supposed to debate on it. So it is not even a matter, this thing is something that when the House of Reps come back, and even the Senate, for more than 3 weeks before we left, they brought it for me to bring it on the floor of the Senate. And this one is a non-fact, where the money was diverted from purchasing of armored personnel carriers to purchasing of utility SUVs.
You also did allege on the issue of promotion and the compulsory retirement of some AIG, and you also said that there is nepotism in the appointments of senior officers, where junior officers were appointed over
there is that allegation. You remember when the IG was appointed, he had about 23 AIGs that are his seniors. The government gave them compulsory retirement. Why did they do that? It's because for him to work properly. Why is it now that we have courses, some people on CSP rank, about 12 years, 13 years, and you pick somebody, a junior officer, to go and head them? Some people are 11 years, 12 years, you're senior, you head them. So why is IG doing it when he is not comfortable with some senior officers working under his senior officers?
All right. So let me come to you. First and foremost, the issue of armored personnel vehicles. In the Appropriation Act, we've heard this story over and over again, that those monies meant for the APC were diverted to buy luxury vehicles. Is that true?
That is not correct. So because the gentleman sitting down here doesn't work in the House of Representatives and doesn't have any
But he's in the National Assembly.
It's one budget. It's one budget.
Please allow him,
yes,
please, because of the time.
Yes. It doesn't work in the House of Representatives, and it's not competent to talk about what's happened in the House of Representatives. I think you are president for that. There's nothing like that, because there's something like that. This is Nigerian. It will be in the public, and the House of Rep will not sit down and watch that occurred. And
did the police buy those APCs?
We bought APC. We have been buying APC. We have been buying vehicles. If you go through our street, you say APC deploy. If you come to the first quarter, they are deployed. Various communities deploy across the country. Those APCs are bought. So the information is given even from day one. You know that he's trying to cast aspersion on the good reputation of the leadership of the force.
All right.
Let me finish.
Let me give you.
Gentlemen, hold on. Gentlemen,
let me just close.
Just a moment. Hold on, Senator.
Okay,
just in 30 seconds, we need to close now.
All the press release, all what he has said is unfounded. And these are issues that is based on rumor that he has a street talk that are gossip from the bear party.
Because we need to
we want Nigerians to disregard all the things that the gentleman here has said. He's a policeman. We have declared him a deserter, and all the process of law will be followed to ensure that, because deserting the Nigerian police or the military is a criminal offense. Under the Penal Code Section 130.
Mr. Mushoji, because we need to,
will be liable to imprisonment.
We need to go now.
Years.
Senator, in one sentence, close you. What are your thoughts, your final thoughts on this?
First, I think the police authority, they are confused, because before, just 2 weeks ago, the IG put my name on his own delegation to go to Morocco. The IG bought ticket for me from Abuja to
These are all funded stories.
I'm afraid that's where we want people to disregard it. Thank you so much.
On a closing note, we want Nigerians that listen to us to disregard what this gentleman has said. That is not the truth.
We need to go. Senator Misau, thanks so much for coming on the program. Mr. Moshood, thanks so much for coming on the program. And that's our show for tonight. Many thanks for being part of it, everyone. I'm Sean Okimale.